Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a show that gives the functions of Monmouth County. And I'm Freeholder Director Tom Arnone, and it's a special guest here today, my first mayor that we're going to start to interview around the county, and that is Mayor Tony Perry from our largest municipality here in Middletown, and somebody that operates such good government. Mayor, great to have you on board.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. So tell me, when were you elected mayor of Middletown?
So this is, I'm going into my second year now as mayor of Middletown. I was mayor in 2018. I was elected in 2018, mayor in 2019, and now again mayor in 2020. So
exciting.
Very exciting.
Exciting. You know, it's always a passion of mine being a former mayor. I know that there's a lot of obstacles and goals that you want to try to achieve, and I know that you have a lot of very high goals that you want to achieve. What are some of the bigger goals that you want to try to tackle on?
Yeah, so we put a lot on our agenda this year, and I have a great township committee that helps me in everything that we do. You know, mayors in our form of government are weak mayors. So, you know, we have just as much power as everybody else on the township committee. So it's really a group effort in everything that we do, and I'm very much appreciative to have such a great township committee. Deputy Mayor Tony Fiore, Rick Heibel, Pat Snell, Kevin Santabrino, they're all stellar, great public officials. But this year, our first big item that we've already set into motion was our efforts to build 100% affordable housing for the men and women of the United States Armed Forces.
Unbelievable project.
Unbelievable project. We are taking a long neglected and blighted piece of property in our historic Campbell's Junction. We're cleaning that up, and we're able to build between 8 and 12 units that will be dedicated solely to our veterans, and we can't think of anybody more deserving of that.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I know, like, you're building buildings, you're looking at the future infrastructure of the town, all things that are important that, you know, the average person might not realize because they don't see all that. Yeah. But I know that you and all the mayors are such visionaries on what is best for their town. But the good thing about it is, and probably one of my biggest initiatives when I came on board, was to partner with our municipalities. And you know, the smaller municipalities, it's a little easier to do. They definitely have a lot of needs there because their resources are limited. But we have engaged, unlike probably any of the other counties, engaging with our larger municipalities. And Middletown being our largest, we do so many things together. What are some of the things that we work on together?
So it's funny. I was thinking about this on the way in, Tom. I don't think the day goes by where you and I are on the phone together. And I'm not sure how much you enjoy that, but I'm very much appreciative of all that we do together. And you know, you have a great team of shared services, and you know, Liz Perez, who is just absolutely stellar in everything that she does and presents to the municipalities. And the biggest thing, because we all know that politics is local, and it's the small things, it's the services that are most critical. Because people don't care about a lot of the things, but they care about when their trash is picked up, and the most important thing is when their roads are paved. And the partnership that we have formed in getting our streets paved at less of a cost than to go out to public bid and go with a low bidder where you're going to have cost overages and change orders and all these different things. You and the county, John Tabia, Joe Atour, everybody at the county has really done a stellar job at helping municipalities, you know, including Middletown, where we have 375 miles worth of roadway. So from here to Virginia Beach, Virginia, that's how much roadway we have in Middletown. And partnering with the county to repave those roads is just critically important.
You know, I always learned a lesson a long time ago. Somebody that was one of my mentors said, listen, if you want to be on any good committee, be on Public Works, because everybody sees the roads. But there's a counter to that. If you don't do a good job, right, it could actually be a detriment. And quite frankly, Middletown, you guys have such a program, and I'm glad we're part of it. So, you know, as unfortunately, government is not easy, or everybody be doing it. So there's a lot of obstacles that occur. If you were to say one of your biggest obstacle that you could see coming down the pike as being mayor, not that I'm sure you'll achieve it, but you know it's coming down the pike, what would that be?
Well, I think, you know, our township is really, you know, unfortunately, you know, thanks to 121 people in Trenton, our schools got a massive cut. And while that doesn't directly impact how, as mayor and our township committee, it more impacts our school board, we got a $1.8 million cut from Trenton for the students of Middletown. And we have 17 schools in town. And to think that these are mutually exclusive from each other, the school board's operation and the township committee's operation, it is a little bit naive, I think. And I try and explain to people how important it is to really voice their concerns and understand what is happening. Another thing is instilling in people that we're not going to agree on everything. And every reorg, for the last 2 years, I've said the exact same thing. We are not going to agree on every issue that comes down the pipe. But what is critically important is to understand each other's perspectives and point of views, and have that dialogue, have that understanding. And because a lot of times what I've found, and for me being a young mayor, being the youngest mayor in Middletown's history, I think there was a little bit more pressure on me to prove myself in 2019, and I hope I achieved that. And I'm grateful to my colleagues to let me do it again in 2020. But you have to give people that time. You have to listen and stop talking.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It's funny because when we talk about those different initiatives and working together, that's something that I think there's 3 entities in government. Well, actually 4 with the school board. The school board, then you have the municipality, the county, and the state. We've achieved our goals by working together, and truly you're seeing the major gains from it.
Definitely.
And that's because of the partnerships. And it goes a long way of not just being partners on the day-to-day operation, but also being friendly with both whatever party you are,
Absolutely.
Republican, Democrat. And I think that's why it works so well here in Monmouth County. I have to thank you personally, and your county and your committee, and I know Tony Fiore was very involved in that too, at a period of time when you came over to our 911 dispatch. Because at the end of the day, you have a lot of employees, you have a lot of firemen, you have a lot of emergency service, you had a lot of police officers, and it was a bit of a risk to do that, no doubt. But I think everybody's happy now. I think the taxpayers are happy. I think obviously emergency services first and foremost are happy, and you guys, took it on and did it, and it worked best for everybody there. So I commend you for that, and I'm looking forward to us working together and seeing some other big programs going along. And I think we have some on the horizon.
We were just talking about one last night.
Yes.
But yeah, with regard to the 911, what the sheriff has done and what Tony Fiore did, really leading the charge on that, benefit the taxpayers and benefit all of our emergency services personnel. It's a massive win for the town and for the county.
So I can't thank you enough. I mean, listen, when Middletown runs good, Monmouth County runs good, and you guys do a great job through your whole administration there, and I know we work so well together, and I'm looking forward to continuing a long-lasting relationship.
Absolutely.
And good luck. And Monmouth County is there, and I'm sure we'll talk every day and just keep working together.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom, for the partnership. Thank you.
GSFF only happens once a year, so purchase your tickets today. For more information, visit www.gsff.org or download our app. Visit GSFF.
Brookdale Community College. Here you will find accessibility to over 60 degree and certification programs both on campus and online. Here you will find a rich community of faculty, student life, and services. Here you will save thousands of dollars through low-cost tuition, financial aid, scholarships, and grants. Here you will reach your education goals. Join us March 29th at our Spring Open House. RSVP today at brookdalecc.edu/open house. Brookdale, here will get you there.
GSFF only happens once a year, so purchase your tickets today. For more information, visit www.gsff.org or download our app. Visit GSFF.
Thank you for taking the first step in your journey to learn more about Brookdale Community College. I am Dr. Pat Gallo, Dean of the Business and Social Science Institute. This institute's programs are designed to provide you with the skills needed to make you job ready at graduation or academically ready to transfer. We are here to help you make the right choices and the best financial decisions. The Institute includes business, culinary arts, fashion design and merchandising, hospitality management and paralegal studies, along with courses in accounting, economics, and marketing. It also includes degrees in anthropology, criminal justice, homeland security and emergency management, education, history, human services, including addiction studies, philosophy, political science, psychology, and sociology. Our outstanding faculty and staff and student services personnel are here to help make your journey successful and enjoyable. All you need to do is take the next step into your future. Success starts at Brookdale.
Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, where we talk about county functions here in Monmouth County. I'm Freeholder Director Tom Arnone. So this is a very exciting period of time where we've been interviewing, and we had an interview here with Mayor Tony Perry, and now we're going to engage with Mayor Fred Tagliarini from Aberdeen. And it's very, very exciting because this is our true partners, and Monmouth County is probably one of the only counties that works with each and every one of the municipalities and has such a great relationship. So Mayor, thank you for coming on.
Mr. Director, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
So when were you elected
Tom,
as a mayor?
I'm going on my 10th anniversary.
Wow.
And I love it more today than I did 10 years ago. It's a kick, and I think it's because, as you know so well, having spoken to you so often, it's a drive from inside. You gotta want to help people. You have to love people, and I just totally enjoy what I do.
You do
so
such
much.
a great job at it,
Thank you,
and that's a
Tom.
very important part. And not everybody can do that. But let's face it, when you sit down and you run for mayor, because there's probably things you see that you want to try to achieve and goals. What were some of your biggest goals that you wanted to try to achieve?
Very good. Thank you, Tom, for asking. There were at least 3 or 4 goals that we wanted to accomplish. A lot I did inherit it, but we have put together 4 incredible developments in town. One being, I think, which we're most proud of, is our Transit Village.
Beautiful.
And thank you. And the thing about the Transit Village was we had so many entities to deal with. We had New Jersey Transit, we had township property, we had private property, and a developer coming in to try to put this all together. So it was a lot of work, but you look back at it and say it was so rewarding to having worked with such great individuals to accomplish it. And we've built a senior residence also in town, and we've taken the old Anchor Glass Factory and turning it into a community to itself, which we're very proud of, and a wonderful community as you come into Route 34 from the south, another great community. And I might add, now that we're almost done with at least 2 of them, and 2 are still being built, we've been very fortunate to have such professional developers coming into Aberdeen to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish.
And I'll tell you, the whole transformation there, the transit side of the village there, was amazing. It was an honor to be there with the groundbreaking, and then, once we went up and the building started to go up. But as you know, serving former mayor and serving there, one of my biggest achievements and goals, I guess you should say goals, was when I became a freeholder, was knowing the only way we're going to move forward is being able to partner. And I had the relationships with the mayors,
Sure.
yourself included, and so we engaged with the biggest shared service probably program in the state of New Jersey. What are some of the things that we work together?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, we're in the 9/11 communication system, which by far is the best thing for our residents. We purchase our salt from you, and I'm glad that the purchase is down a little bit.
Yes, that's a good
in
thing.
expenses. With the deer population now, it's just an unfortunate thing that we have the deer carcasses, and you certainly picked them up for us. I think this past year was a very exciting moment for us, as I called you one day and said, I think we're going to put a little trifecta together with Homedale Township and Aberdeen and the county.
I remember that meeting.
It was
great.
great. And we said we wanted to pave Line Road. At the time, it was Mayor Hines, and boy, it took him 3 minutes to say, we're going to do Line Road together? Let's do it. Let's call Tom up. Let's get the engineering done by the county. You did the work for us. I think we bought the asphalt.
Yep,
and
exactly
the bottom
what it
line
was.
is, Line Road is paved, and we just couldn't be more happy.
It was a triple savings.
It really was. It really was. And professionally, it's second to none. I mean, and that's what it.
Well, I'm very
that's so
proud of our
important
staff.
too. But this should have been number 1, but it's okay. You know where it's in my heart. I think what we put together to build a Monmouth County Park in Aberdeen, I think it's a legacy for all of us.
I agree.
Absolutely, to preserve. By the time I think the county is done and the park system is done, we may be preserving close to 400 acres of land that I love my developers, but we saved it from 1,500 townhomes.
Yep.
And it was just so
And
perfect.
I know you, myself, we worked on that, and
Yes.
and we hit some obstacles. We know that our government is obstacles. Unfortunately, if everything was nice and easy, everybody would want to do it.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of obstacles.
And that was ups and downs. I remember calling you and say, Tom,
We're losing it.
we're losing it.
I
And I'd
remember
call you
that.
back and said, the window opened again. But, and it's a very difficult thing to try to point out an individual, 2 or 3. I consider the Freeholder Board as a
Absolutely.
one entity, and how great you guys were. But former Senator Carrillo was at the state level and truly helped us a lot.
Oh, he came through, and
Yeah.
as he always did.
Yes.
I couldn't ask for a better somebody for me
Baykeeper?
to look up to. The Baykeeper,
Baykeeper,
everything, the park
everybody.
system,
That's
everybody
exactly
came
right.
through. It was just such a great day.
That is something I think we're all going to be proud of for many, many years. And now I'm so happy that we even have our own little brochure for No Woods, and we have events there, and it's just going to get greater and greater and greater.
Well, I want you to know you're going to hit obstacles as we're going to hit obstacles. That's just part of government and it's part of life in general.
Sure.
And you know that we're there to assist you. If you were to think about maybe some future shared services that we can engage on, and without putting you on the spot now there, if there is any, please pass that on to me and know that, we're going to truly be partners. And that's what we said. And I truly do believe that the county and the municipalities, if we work together, but it has to have that relationship.
No, and you've proven it time and time again, and it's a question, and we're in budgets right now, as you know, and you are. And of course, that is something that we come up all the time is, what is this going to cost us? How can we do it just as good, if not better, for less money?
Exactly.
Because as you know, as a former mayor, and the budgets that you have at the county level, it's how far can you stretch a dollar? And that's what it really comes down to. So.
But our residents in both Aberdeen and in Monmouth County, they still want the services, which they deserve. They look at us to try to make it work.
No doubt about it. And listen, I would be lying if I didn't say you look at everything that's on the budget lines and you say, well, what if we went to 1 day a week sanitation instead of 2?
Those
what
are
if
things.
Those are things, and you say, no way. Because if, it's working, and most important thing for us on the council is quality of life.
Well, you guys do a great job. I can't thank you enough. I think this is going to be special for Monmouth County to have these shows and to have a good friend. I know we work together, but more importantly, we're friends.
Yes.
And I think that's why we work so well together.
I think so.
So it was an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And you
My
know that
pleasure.
Monmouth County is there for Aberdeen if you need anything.
You've proven it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
GSFF only happens once a year, so purchase your tickets today. For more information, visit www.gsff.org or download our app. Visit GSFF.
Brookdale Community College. Here you will find accessibility to over 60 degree and certification programs both on campus and online. Here you will find a rich community of faculty, student life, and services. Here you will save thousands of dollars through low-cost tuition, financial aid, scholarships, and grants. Here you will reach your education goals. Join us March 29th at our Spring Open House. RSVP today at brookdalecc.edu/open house. Brookdale here will get you there.
Hello and welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm your host, Cynthia Scott, and today we are joined by Freeholder Lillian Burry, who is the liaison to the Monmouth County Library System. Welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia.
And we also have a guest, Judy Tolchin, who is not new to Monmouth in Focus. Welcome back. You are the director of the Monmouth County Library System. There are 13 branches within the library system, and one of the branches actually received a very notable award recently. Tell us about that.
Yes, that was actually in Manalapan. It's our headquarters, the Monmouth County headquarters, as I said, is the Manalapan branch, if you will, and they received the Asbury Park 22nd award that was given for the best of the best, and it's a reader's choice, and they solicit from their readers opinions, if you will, and the Library in Manalapan came out as the best public library in Monmouth County. They were also joined by Howell Township's library.
Excellent.
And they are a branch of the Monmouth County Library. Howell is one of 13. But it's a wonderful thing because you know that the public out there feels very, very highly of us, of the library system. And whenever there's an opinion taken as to what do they like best about Monmouth County, it's the Monmouth County Library System and the parks.
Excellent.
So those two areas really come out shining.
Well, congratulations to you, to Freeholder, because I know you're a liaison to the library. And Judy, what makes the Manalapan branch, well, that's our headquarters, but the best of the best? Why do you think they chose Manalapan?
Well, we are a community center, and so people can use us for many reasons, and they do. And we're so happy to be able to be there for them, for their educational, recreational needs. People come to the library all the time to take resources out, to get help from librarians, and we even recently have stepped up our efforts in helping people get jobs.
Wow, that's great. What are some of the programs and services that the library system offers? So many of them.
Well, the one that stands out in my mind is that we offer help with tax returns. And it was truly originally geared for the seniors, I believe, the seniors with their W-2 forms or what have you.
We offer the service at 3 locations, headquarters, Eastern Branch, and Wall.
Okay.
And so it did expand to other taxpayers who are in low to moderate income levels. And they can get free tax preparation services, and it is just a wonderful program.
It really
Thousands
is.
of people use that service each year.
That's great.
And it's all volunteer.
And you get them at the headquarters in Manalapan as well as the branch in Shrewsbury?
Yes,
Okay.
and Wall as well.
Okay.
And it's done through the AARP with tax aid volunteers.
Yeah, something good to know for those who need to take advantage of that. Absolutely. So we talk about 13 branches in Monmouth County, but there are also members as well. Explain the difference.
So in a branch, they are the points of service for all of the community. Anyone can use the branch who has a library card, and really anyone can walk into the library and use it as a public library.
Sure.
The members are a little bit different because they are autonomous and they can serve their own community, but they get supported by the Monmouth County Library.
Gotcha. So if you live in a town that's a member and you're the resident of the town, you go and utilize that that library if you want.
You can, and you can also use any of the 13
Any
branches.
of the others as well.
Okay, great,
Yes.
great. Any exciting things coming up in 2020 at the library?
I think so. We will be actually dedicating a sculpture in honor of one of our patrons who passed about a year ago, and he actually left monies to the library, and we thought it prudent on our part to take that money and put it towards something that would memorialize his enthusiasm for the library.
Wonderful.
And so Franco Minervini, who is not an unknown name in the world of art and sculpture in Monmouth County, because he's the one who designed and sculpted the eagle over at Mount Mitchell for the September 11th program, and also more recently over at the Monmouth County Fire Academy. He did something there as well. So he's come up with a wonderful sculpture, and in memory of the individual that we have, and it's Mr. Raffetto is his name, and we really look forward to the ribbon cutting, if you will. It's going to be a park paralleling Route 34 at the Shrewsbury Library, and it'll be very welcoming, I think, to any of our patrons, and certainly most importantly, it's a wonderful way to remember Mr. Raffetto's
Very nice.
contribution to our library.
Absolutely.
And he was a very modest man, but he felt very strongly about what the library did for him.
Wow.
Yeah, so it is exciting.
That is a nice story. And how about when it comes to library cards? Certainly changed when we had our library cards. Now you just walk in there, I guess if you have a phone, and you could swipe it on your phone in a sense, right?
Yes, you can.
Can anybody get one?
So we have cards available to anyone who lives in our member municipalities, and they get a free card. There are 40 member municipalities, and they offer the full range of services, including electronic books, downloadable magazines, and streaming video. There are a number of people who have libraries that they feel don't necessarily meet all of their needs, or they just want to be part of our library system as well, and they can, for a fee, join the library system. It is a more limited card. You can borrow materials, but you are not allowed the electronic access to those proprietary collections.
Gotcha. Yeah, library. You've been with the library system for a long time, Judy. I would imagine that you have seen it change drastically throughout the years, correct?
It has changed quite a lot. From the old times when we were back in the periodicals department looking at microfilm to now when you're downloading an audiobook. It's just amazing the transformation, and you keep moving along with all of those advances.
You have to. Yeah, and it's great because it keeps the library alive in a sense. You know? So
Well, we're more than just books, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, remember when we would go, we'd do some research, we'd get our books, and now the kids can find all this stuff online. They can download a book right from their iPad or Kindle, right?
It's amazing. We have a lot of influence with the towns, and they do actually participate in a program to get the students library cards, and they download all of these electronic materials. Many of the schools are offering computers to the students in order to do that.
Yeah, get the kids involved. I always think that the libraries offer so much to children that they, you know, the parents and the teachers and the resources that they have there just to take advantage of this.
And the seniors find it a great place to gather, if you will.
Yep.
The library means a lot to a lot of people. It truly does. I think we had 1,300,000 visitors last year.
Wow, that's great.
Which is substantial.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you both for your great work, commendable work at the Monmouth County Library System. And that is all the time we have for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. I'm Cynthia Scott. Have a great day, everyone.